Right. Let's just put this back on. Right, hello there. Today we are running OMSI2 with the Gainsbourgh map. Ignore the description, we're actually running an ENVIRO 400 Scania edition with the N250 Scania body, the Scania chassis. I've driven the ENVIRO 400 but never this Scania one before, so we're going to see what that's like today. Same engine, same gearbox. I don't doubt it should handle too much differently. So it's just a case of firing up the bus and then getting it on the road on a journey. So first thing I've done before I started the stream is taken away the steering wheel. I've got my own and I don't like something big and bulky. In fact, we are just going to move my wheel centre to the dash. It helps more than you think when turning corners. Right, so button box, ignition, engine start. Does sound a little different. This is a dual door. So we've got two lights on the dash. The green one is the back door and the red one is the front door. That's pretty good. Let's take his attention now to the ticket machine. 408726. Let's log it in. Enter pin code 4763. Right, so that's this ticket machine on and it's now asking for a timetable. So let's get a timetable set up. Really we want line 2. 1314. Bus stand 1 there, number 2 Park Springs. Number 2 Park Springs. So then come back to the ticket machine, and because it's a smart one, we accept it, and that books in our timetable with the smart bus route. So as the ticket machine goes along and people get on and off your bus, you issue them tickets. It also keeps a number on how many people are boarding your bus at any one time as well. So that's good. Right. 1314 and we're on 1302, so we best make a start. Air brake. We don't want to put much throttle down. I don't want the bus jerking too much. Wow, it's quiet. Open the window a bit just so we can get an idea of the engine. Right, ticket machine view. It does also show screens for contactless payments and other things. Right, child single at 80p with a £10 note. Adult return, £3. Child return 150. Right. Come off cache desk view. Timetable views. Click the timetable, put it on my dashboard. 13:14 departure, so let's fast forward time to 13:12. Just remember, when you've got an active timetable on, you can fast forward time, but you can't rewind it, so you can't cheat. Which I think is realistic. You shouldn't be able to cheat, really. Adult return. £2 change. So as you see, because we've got a smart ticket machine, this particular bus with this particular ticket machine, there's no looking at your timetable for time checking anymore. As you can see, the little time stamp in the corner, it changes colour. If it's black, we're running on time within a 2-minute margin. If it goes yellow, it's a warning you're either too early or too late. And if it goes red, then you shouldn't be setting off from your last stop. So it just gives you an idea without having to check your timetable. Say if you're driving and you can't check your timetable, that's a quick hand of whether you're running a little bit early, a little bit late, how far you're running early. So that's a pretty good thing too. So it is 13:14 now, it's time for departure, so just click the timetable back off and then take the air brake off. This wheel does have a 900-degree turn, so it does turn quite far. This bus is very quiet, there's not much engine noise. Oh, that's really, really tight. Also, when you're checking your mirrors like this in the game, it reminds you how wide your vehicle actually is rather than in-game mirrors. Checking your mirrors properly, looking at the length and width of your vehicle, it's a great advantage because you drive the bus over time and you soon realise how wide it is. Like if I'd have turned that corner any tighter, I would have mounted the curb. Child single 80p. And yes guys, you know, I am drinking and driving. I've got a Guinness sat right on my table. Quite nice actually, I must say. Right there, Mum, let's Remember, the speedo is in kilometres an hour on the Scania version, not in miles an hour. Don't ask me why Scania did that. I think it's a bit stupid with it being a UK bus. We have 13 passengers on board. Checking your mirrors is such an important thing in any big vehicle. The more you check your mirrors, the less likely you are to either mount a curb or hit something. Mirrors are everything. Child return 150. That's 2. If I give the child pound coins, it'll teach him to pay me with a £10 note. That warning noise is because I took the air brake off just a little early before the doors closed, so it's like a safety measure. We are line 2, so as we're driving along, any arrow with number 2 next to it is our line that we'll be following. You can turn these visual aids off if you learn a route off by hand, but they are there to help you in case you do get stuck. I can't really say much for the graphics. The graphics, yes, I will admit, do look blocky. They're not 100% realistic. But the benefits of this game outweigh the bad points. For example, the graphics can be blocky on the scenery. Buildings look flat-faced front. But the driving physics of the buses, the ABS, the lean because of the tallness, are so realistic, it is unbelievable. Even the steering wheel is dead light, and it should be. And we have got, you see that yellow little icon on my dash there? That lights up when somebody rings the bell. And because this bus is twin door, there you can see them getting off the bus in the mirror. Like I was saying, because heavy vehicles have a quite a big power steering motor and hydraulics, the steering wheel is so light to the touch. I can just about swing this bus anywhere, even though it is really heavy. It will not stop on a 10p piece. It does take some time to stop this. And the new buses, because they've got protection to stop them skidding, you can't just put your foot down to the floor neither. There's a delay in the throttle as well. Not a big one, but it's just about noticeable. Right, so we're turning left here, no traffic. This game is totally customisable as well. I can create a lot more parked cars, I can make the roads 10 times busier, I can make hundreds of peoples at bus stops. So you can customise in the options just about any challenge that you want to do. including advanced ticket selling, easy ticket selling, or contactless only. Like they do in London, you can have a contactless bus. Now, these little babies here, our real speed humps. Ah, you see, this is why I hate parked cars. Just remember, if you go around the corner too quick, you're going to put pressure on your passengers. Put your brakes on too hard, you're going to put pressure on your passengers. They're not going to like it. And they will complain about the way you drive. It's quite simple. When you're on a route, when you're driving along and you see people at a bus stop, you pull over and you open your doors to see if they get on. Adult single, that's 2. Right, that's done. So yeah, you're just driving along. If you see people at a bus stop on your journey, you pull over to the bus stop as gently as you can. You then open your doors, and if they don't want your bus, they just simply won't get on. And if they do, they'll get on, and if you've got the ticket selling on, then they'll ask for a ticket. I have got older buses and newer buses. I already did a stream that's on my YouTube with the Digibus Phantom. That's the old white ticket machine, the box standard one, where you actually have to do timetable checks on your route to make sure you're not running too early or too late. Oh, I felt that bump. So yeah, I've got old and new buses, so if you're wanting any bus in particular, you can always just pop a comment on the live stream, and I'll certainly arrange it and set it up. Ooh, that was a big one. I just remembered now why I don't like these speed bumps. They are awful. Remember, it takes a lot more kinetic braking energy to stop a bus. And because of that reason, it takes quite a bit longer for a bus to stop. So you don't want to be doing a ridiculous speed, and especially through a built-up housing area like this. I mean, that speedo is in kph, and we're doing about 35-40 kph. That's only about 20-25 mile an hour. We're not burning in terms of speed here. We're taking it nice and slow, because people do just cross the road in this game unexpectedly now and again. And there's been a few times I have had to slam the brakes on. Oh, you're not coming down here. There's no way my bus is going through there, and I can tell that because I know the width of this bus. It takes a little bit of experience knowing the size of your vehicle without actually looking at it, but the more you drive it, the more you'll learn the size of it. Each time I look across at my mirror like that, I'm learning more the exact size of it by looking at the width of it. Does he want a ticket? Oh yes, he wants an adult return at £3. one. There we go, he's getting on board. And we're setting back off. If you think anything can be improved, please let me know. With this, we're not looking for 100% realistic inner surroundings, but more in the bus itself. The models are exact and they drive really, really good for what they should do. They're nice, they're quiet. The hybrid ones are even quieter. You know, so you get good weather on this as well. The rain effect is really good. Next stop is Warren Wood School. Nobody will be probably there. Oh yeah. Oh, little bit of harsh braking, but not too bad. It's walking up to the bus. If you do overshoot a little bit, a bus stop, they will walk up to it. But if you overshoot too much, they won't. They will wait for the next bus. So we've now got 18 passengers on board. I must say, you wouldn't catch a real bus driver having a Guinness while driving a bus. The other thing to take note is whenever you're driving a bus, brakes are really sensitive. Even in real life, they are really sensitive. So when you apply pressure to the braking pedal, if you're new to the brakes, you apply a little bit of pressure each time, going a little bit further with your braking pedal each time, till you get used to just how much you need to brake. Because a little bit too far and the bus will jerk forward, and then your passengers will get upset and then they'll start complaining and then they'll start doing me head in, and I don't want that. Well, we've gone through the first part of the housing estate. We're going to be going through the second in a minute. It's 13:29 and my ticket machine says we're running on time. We'll do a manual check at the next, in fact, which stop is this? The Pines. Let's do a manual check, timetable. The Pines, 13:28. So we're running a little bit late, but we are within that 2-minute gap, which is why we don't have a red marker. If there is anything wrong with the stream, if it's cutting out, if it's buffering, please leave me a comment underneath it. It's important that I do know, as you gathered last night, we was having internet problems and it wasn't so good. The joys of living in Blackpool. This is the second house in the estate now, so we'll be stopping and starting quite a bit more. Let's have a look. Oh, less work for me to do. They've got their own tickets. Oh, I hate these speed bumps. We've got these speed bumps exactly the same, and they are awful. You can't evade them. Something else you should know, you can cater the bus sim to your needs. So you can collide with everything and you can drive through everything. You can turn on and off part of your collisions. Oh, I felt that one. Oh. These are pretty harsh speed bumps. One of the harshest we get in the UK. Scampton Way. That's a funny name for a bus stop, isn't it? Oh, we've got an old biddy getting on. She was quiet. I don't mind letting her on my bus. This bus has done 81,926 miles. Really, that's still a baby, it's done nothing. Still practically brand new at that mileage. He's not getting on, he's walking off. Fillingham Close. Quite a few passengers here. I'll put ticket machine on just in case. Yeah, £10 weekly. There you go. So we now have 28 people aboard. And obviously you see the button that was green that said alight 28. It's now turned to orange because the bus is at medium capacity now. And then that'll turn to red when it is actually full, so gives you an idea of what weight you've got on your bus as well. Buses do weigh different depending on what bodies you've got on there. Oh, I hit the curb then. You see how the bus just bounced back then? That's when your wheels not mount the curb, but the knock against them. Oh, hang on. What's he want? 80p child single. Issue. £2, so that's 20 and a pound. Is that not the ticket he wanted? Child single. Oh, it's 150 in it. Hang on a minute. Child single. Right, thank you. That's better. Right, we'll wait here a minute. Right, let's close these doors and set off on his journey. 29 passengers aboard the bus now. Right, let's turn this corner. Careful not to mount the back wheels on the curb. Oh, we don't stop at that stop. That's a 590 terminus stop. We're nearly at the end of the route actually. It's only about half an hour long. Right, so let's check. We are good to go. Oh, buses don't like bumps. So we've got a small motorway trip back up to Gainsbourgh village, and then we drop the passengers off at Gainsbourgh bus station. Oh! That was my little fault there. Whoa! Oil had just stopped. You see my point? Takes a lot longer for buses to stop without skidding. We got a red light. And the buzzer went off. Yeah, the yellow mark's back on the dashboard. The buzzer went off. Right. We're not going to do the same journey in one bus. Oh, do you know, I missed that stop. I'll drop him off at the next one. I don't think this passenger will be too happy with me. When we get to the bus station, I'm going to do the same route, but I'm going to show you some other buses. We've got time. And each time we do it, it's only half an hour at a time. Are they off? Yep. Looks like my passengers are off the bus. there's the bell, because the next stop is the bus station. Bus station stand 1A. Have you noticed how when I steer into a corner, I turn in such a tight way that you don't go on the other side of the road? It's very difficult to do. You've really got to know the angle to put the bus at without guessing it. You guess it, you get it wrong. And there we go. Both doors open. Timetable complete. When you complete a journey, it will come up and your times are all there. That journey was a good one. So we are going to cancel that timetable, let the passengers get off. We are going to reload a new bus, but I'll warn you, if the stream pauses for a minute, don't close the stream, just stay with it, because the loading times for buses on this game is very bad, because it's not a good game for loading times. It really isn't. It's a massive game with all the add-ons in, so just bear with the stream and wait until the stream shows the new bus on. Now guys, the stream should automatically come back to life for you. Sorry about the loading times. The models may be good, the physics are excellent, but that is one downside to this game. It is not optimised very well anywhere in this game, and it is not really sort of maintained. Anyway, cutting a long story short on that, this is one of my favourite buses. It's actually a Leyland DAF, or Leyland DAF did a copy of this bus. In the game, it is a DLC bus. It's the Digibus Phantom, and it is an absolute iconic era of a bus. It's got all the features that it had on it in the first place, even opening windows. As you can see, it's quite detailed from the outside of the bus. The wheels turn, the sharp edges on the tyres, they're not blurred. It really is a good bus. It's a good model. Let's take a look at inside. The wheel's accurate, the dashboard's accurate, and so is the ticket machine for the type of bus and the year it was made. Let's open ticket view and take the steering wheel off. And then you've got your cash desk, you've got your stage 1 ticket machine, your Seafarer 2. That's a classic in itself now. The speedo is in miles an hour. Your mileage on the bus does work as well, so you can clock up your own miles on the bus. Let's get this thing started. Realistic engine sound and a realistic idling sound to the engine as well. Some of you will probably remember getting on buses like this, and in a few seconds I might just be able to bring some nostalgia back for you, because when you look inside the bus, a lot of guys will remember this bus as an iconic era. I know I do from my childhood. They used to be in regular supply. You can even push a stop sign and look, the bus stopping sign lights up. You can take a look round the bus and your emergency exit doors there. All your lights work as well. So there's nothing on this bus that's not really been thought of. I can even look there. I can even take a view upstairs and see what it's like at the top deck window. So when it comes to the models, yes, they are very highly detailed. Now let's go back to the dash. If we put you in this view, then you can take a look around the bus as well. You've got one single camera that's been modified to bring the bus up to date up at the top. On the original version of the bus, which I do have as well, that is the old mirror style, which a lot of you will remember. A mirror up at the top front seats on the bus, and that mirror could see the whole top deck. But this one's been modified. It's got one single phase camera. You know, I can even open and shut the doors there. And then the old ticket machine as well. Vehicle height 14x2, 4.32 meters. Speed limiter fitted, and even the colour of the fabric on the seats conforms to the standard version of this bus. So I hope that brings some nostalgia back for you. You know, I know it did for me when I first got this bus. Now, we're actually going to go take it for a spin. Now, there's a 3-speed and a 4-speed version of this bus. This is the 4-speed. And these buses are fully diesel. And they do shift. So when I need power on the point, old diesels are always better. So, what we will do, we will set up timetable again. Gainsbourgh Depot, line 3, 1444, number 2. Number 2, Packed Springs. Right. You see, no delay in the throttle on this bus. You put your foot down in this bus, it goes in almost instantly. All the old rattles, the squeaks, they're all there. Even the old air brake sound is absolutely phenomenal.
What?
Ticket machine.
Ooh, give me a day rider, mate.
390, that's that one. 10p for 6, 8, 10.
What? Just a single, please, mate.
150.
Lovely. Cheers.
Morning, sweetie. Hello, lad. Morning, sweetie. Single.
Ah, yeah.
Return, please.
A day rider, please.
Now, I know what you're thinking, guys. When this bus was in service, there was no contactless payments. That doesn't really matter. Contactless will still work. The only downside to old buses is that old buses never used to carry £5 and £10 notes because you never needed them. Bus fares were not that expensive. They might have carried £5 notes at the best. But on these buses there is no notes. That is the only slight downside, so it just relies on you being able to do calculations or get used to your calculations for your ticket prices. The good news on that is if you download any map, you can put a custom ticket pack to that map if you get used to your ticket prices. So once you get used to it, you can almost certainly give the right change the first time, because you may have done it 50,000 times. So now we've done that, let's have a look at this timetable. 14:44 and it's only 13:51, so yeah, going to fast forward time 14:42. Go back to his cash desk to see if any more people are getting on. No? Right, so what we will do then is fast forward to 14:44 and start this journey. So front door shut. Take that off. And when I'm pulling out here, I only have to apply a tiny little bit of throttle. When we're driving along, listen to the unique rattles. I remember these rattles sitting on the back of these buses. You know, and they're so unique, and it takes time and a lot of effort from somebody to replicate these. I will put my dashboard lights on. That's better. Obviously you're only hearing a little bit of the engine at the minute. When I actually rev the bus up, you will hear quite a little bit more. Oh, that says keep clear. Same with the air brake. The air brake is so genuine. I remember buses parking up next to me and letting those air brakes straight off, and by God did they get you. So we're going to do the same journey again in a much older bus, and you'll see the difference in acceleration straight away. There we go. You saw the difference in set off then. The bus just got up and went. There's no delay, there's no... curb then.
Hi, handsome.
She wants a weekly £10 ticket, that's that one. Don't ask me how I know which button it is, I just do, because on this ticket machine, a lot of bus companies put separate labels on the buttons. No seafarer machine were programmed exactly the same unless it were part of the same route. Also, when I brake, that... oh, it's not coming on now. That icon there, the green one lit up, and then it goes off. That is what's called a retarder line. It's a little mechanical device that aids very much in braking on any heavy vehicles. So buses, trucks, some vans do have retarders in as well. So if you ever wondered what that symbol means, it's called a retarder and it's a braking aid. So whenever you activate your brakes, it will activate the retarder as well. If you want to know how one actually works, then just look it up on YouTube or Google, because I'm not explaining that. The realisticness of the engine and the sound is absolutely fantastic. Listen to the engine right now. And if you did get that little pitch difference that you just heard was because I took it out of drive and put it into neutral. And again, there you go. Even the slightest of sounds is so realistic on this bus, and it makes it an old great classic to drive on this game. And believe it or not, it actually stops just as good as the new buses. The only downside is it's not as comfy. It's got a lot more rattles and squeaks. You know, that's why they were put out of service. They were too old. They just wasn't built in the same way. Let's see how many people we've got getting on in the village.
What?
Have a return ticket, lads.
Return, that's that one.
Ooh, give me a tie rider, mate.
$3.90 ticket, that's that one. That's a 10.
Lovely. Cheers.
Right, so that's that one. Now, shortly, I will slam on the brakes and see if we can upset those passengers. Because you see, once you drive any vehicle for a given amount of time, you get really good at it. And I used to upset them quite a lot, and now I really don't much anymore. But obviously I've never upset them on a live stream. So if you've never played the game, you wouldn't know. So when we get to a straight, I'm going to put my foot down and then slam on my brakes.
What the hell's going on with your driving?
And that is full brake lock. When the bus bounced up and down, that's the anti-lock braking system kicking in to keep the wheels moving. And obviously you heard the passengers complain. Obviously the bell's not gone off, so nobody actually wants to get off yet. That's good. I haven't upset them too much then. But yes, the bus will stop. But on the older buses, when you slam your brakes on like that, they're quite a lot more violent. Because the suspensions weren't as good as they are today. And there were a lot more casualties in an accident on an older bus. Because obviously if you were aware of the crumple zone, then it's not really that good anyway. The speedo is in miles an hour this time. And remember, this is an all ticket machine, so we have to do stock checks to make sure we're running on time. Highfield Lodge. Highfield Lodge, 51. Smack on time. To keep on time with your timetable, you do get used to what speed to drive at roughly. It's not always an exact science, it depends how busy your bus is, how many passengers are getting on. It depends on a few factors really, but you get used to those factors over time. And then you can give a better service. That's if you're interested in giving a better service. You might like the idea of getting this game simply because you want to upset passengers. That's your prerogative. You can do so much with this game. Or you might decide to get this game to start making your own buses. This is where you're going to see a difference. You're going to hear a lot more bumps and squeaks now from the speed bumps and through the housing estate because the roads are in quite poor condition. That's the bell, the old style bell. Charles Baines School. We'll do a spot check here while I let her off. 53. We're slightly late. We just pick up speed a little. Well, that's nice. Just walk straight in front of the road. Honestly. I'm a bus service, not a walk-through. It's alright going fast in a straight line, but I would never advise going fast round corners. And not because you tip the bus over, because it's really hard to tip a bus over, but because of the force that you'd put on your passengers. Buses are never good at handling force round corners. Not for comfort anyway. I'll check the next stop. The drive. 55. Oh, we're still... I had to keep his foot down a bit then. Only to about 30 mile an hour, nothing drastic. You should never exceed at the most 40 on a bus anyway. And that's on a normal main road. Because you've got to remember you're stopping at stops. Sometimes you have to stop a little bit harsher than normal if you don't see a passenger waiting at a stop. One thing I will say, the automatic transmissions on these buses were a lot better for hills.
Hiya, driver.
And yes, the horn is a proper style horn, and it does work really loudly. We're about halfway through the journey now. There's a lot of other maps that I can stream for this game. I've got Yorkshire, Lake District, but unfortunately some of those maps are not very well optimised and don't handle streaming very well. One of my first streams of this game was on the Lake District, and it didn't handle it very well at all. And it's not the power, it's the way the map's being made. They're not optimised or anything. So I will have a dig out what UK maps for this game I can stream quite comfortably, and I will bring you some more maps soon as well.
Hello, lads.
Ooh. She's one in our bus. Speed bumps again. Ooh. Don't like them. Hate them with a passion.
Return, please.
That's £3 he's give me, so he wants a £3 adult day ticket. And that's it. in our bush? Yes, they are. Good. I suppose I should do a timetable check at the next stop. If you do want to progress in the career on this game, these things do matter. If you're not bothered about them, then it wouldn't really apply to you anyway. But all I can say is, even if you're not running in career mode, if you time your bus timetable just right, you will pick up the most passengers as well, because people will be there waiting for your bus. Filling them close. I'll remember that after I've let these off.
Morning, sweetie.
Oh, tickets again. 80p, that's 20 back and £1. Filling them close. 15:02. Right on time. Can't rumble like that. Good service.
Hello. Give me a day rider, mate.
3. No, it's that one. Even I forget which buttons it is sometimes. We're not far from the motorway now. Obviously it does feel a little bit more different to drive this bus, especially when you're touching the accelerator and the brakes, because the second you touch them, the bus starts moving. It feels more, as daft as it sounds, it feels more like a sports car. If you drive a modern bus first, and then you drive an old bus, it almost feels like a sports car. It revs right up, and power's almost instantly there. So we're on the motorway back to the village and then the bus station. 3:05 in game time. See then, foot straight down, straight onto the motorway. And do you know what? The old buses are best for it. Brilliant at first start. You want power there? Old buses are better. But then you've got the key that old buses are more unreliable. And they actually are, because of the age of them now. Parts, you can't just get parts for certain buses anymore. I do know a good few of these buses still in service. But they are on a heritage route. And if you've got buses like this in your area still, give us a comment, I'd like to know about it. Because here in Blackpool, we've got nothing like this anymore. All our public buses modern hybrid vehicles now. We don't have old buses like this. I mean, we might have a few on the school ones, but I wouldn't know about that. But yeah, if you still use buses like this wherever you live, be sure to drop us a comment and let us know. Right, I'll stem off my bus. I always go slow at this intersection because there's a slight glitch in the map. When we get to the depot, this will be the end of the stream. But what I do plan on doing is testing some more maps on the live stream to see if we can show you some more maps. And we will also be testing the standard edition of the ENVIRO 400, not the Scania edition. And we will also test the ENVIRO 200 as well. The single decker bus. They are really good buses to drive, and we've also got a Volvo Gemini B9TL to test as well. All those buses are quite modern and used all the way around the country, so it'd be great to have some feedback on the quality, the features of the buses, if you think anything's wrong with them as well. Because it's not me that's made them. And that's the timetable, and as you can see, status okay. If you're too early or too late, this is where it would tell you at the end of your shift report for your current log, and that's all okay. We can end that timetable now. Is everybody off my bus? Looks like it. Now we are going to drive up here, and just for nostalgia we are going to go and reverse in the car park. It is not easy reversing a big vehicle like this. The key is taking it slowly. And then air brakes are on, and we can safely turn the engine off